Good morning, dear students. Welcome to history class. As we have started our new chapter, Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. Now, let's start today's topic, the February Revolution. Let's begin with February Revolution. In the winters of 1917, conditions in capital were very difficult. The layout of the city seemed to emphasize the divisions among its people as workers. Quarters and factories were on right bank of River Neva, while Winter Palace and the official building on the left. In February 1917, there was acute shortage of food in Russia, which made the life of workers very difficult. Parliamentarians were opposed to the Tsar's desire to dissolve the Duma. On 22nd February, a lockout took place at a factory on the right bank of the river Neva. The next day, 50 factories called a strike in sympathy. In many factories, women also led the way to strike on 23rd February 1917. This day came to be called as International Women's Day. Suspension of Duma. Demonstrating workers crossed from the river Neva and the quarters to the center of the capital, and official buildings were surrounded by workers. All the demonstrators disappeared by the evening, but they came back on 24th and 25th. The government tried to control the situation and called out the cavalry and the police. The Duma was suspended on Sunday, 25th February. Let's see the events. First, politicians spoke out against the suspension of Duma. Second, demonstrators returned in force to the street of the left bank of River Neva on the 26th February. On the 27th February, the police headquarters were attended and damaged. Workers demonstrated in streets, raising slogans about better hours, bread, wages, and democracy. The government once again called cavalry, but it refused to fire on the demonstrators. An officer was shot at the barrack of regiment. 3 other regiments revolted and voted to join the strikers' workers. The cavalry soldiers joined the workers and jointly formed a Soviet or council in the same building where Duma met. This was the Petrograd Soviet. Now, let's see what happened after February. In the provincial government, army officials, landowners, industrialists played an important role. In these groups, the liberals, socialists worked for an elected government. Restrictions on public meetings and associations were removed. Now, people were free to have their meetings. The Bolshevik leader Vladimir Lenin returned to Russia from exile in April 1970. Lenin and the Bolsheviks had opposed the war since 1940. He left that time. It was time for Soviets to take over power and control the situation. Lenin gave his April thesis, in which he made three demands. First, the war be brought to a close. Second, land to be transferred to the peasants. Third, the banks be nationalized. So, all these three demands came to be known as April thesis. Now, let's see the movement of workers and its effects. Throughout the summer, the workers' movement spread. In industrial areas, factory committees were formed. Trade unions grew in number. Soldiers' committees were formed in the army. In June, about 500 Soviets sent representatives to an all-Russian Congress of Soviets. Lenin wanted the Bolshevik Party to be renamed as the Communist Party to indicate its new radical aims. As the power of the provincial government was reduced and the Bolshevik influence grew, so the provincial government insisted attempts by workers to run factories and began arresting leaders. Popular demonstrations staged by the Bolshevik in April 1970. In the countryside, peasants and their socialist revolutionary leaders pressed for the redistribution of land. Land committees were formed. Peasants seized land between July and September 1917. Now, let's see the revolution of October 1917. What happened? Growing conflicts between the provincial government and the Bolshevik made Lenin to persuade the Petrograd Soviet and the Bolshevik Party for a socialist control of power. He united supporters from army, Soviet and factories for socialists on 16 October 1970. The Soviet appointed a military revolutionary committee. As the uprising began on 24 October 1917, Prime Minister left the city to summon troops in fear. In response to these measures, Military Revolutionary Committee ordered its supporters to seize government offices and arrest ministers. There was heavy fighting between pro-government troops and the Bolsheviks. By December 1917, the Bolsheviks controlled the Moscow-Petrograd area.